Spence, rooting him on. You know, I just like to support, fighters in his own right.
I feel like Errol, even though, we haven't seen him in 3 years now, I think he still has more than enough to beat Tim.
I told him to his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's cool.
Terence Crawford has issued a warning to Tszyu ahead of his fight with Errol Spence, and his message is straightforward. This is not the same Spence that people believe they already have figured out.
Steady movements and fluid movements, that's what he's giving you. Like, he's not in an actual fight. It's like, I could tell immediately who's been around the sport as opposed to like...
After Crawford defeated Spence, many fans started viewing Errol differently. Some believe he is faded, damaged, or no longer the same fighter. But Crawford understands better than anyone how dangerous Spence can still be when he is fully locked in. That is why his warning to Tszyu carries so much weight. Bud is reminding everyone that Spence is still a dangerous opponent, and if Tim enters the fight expecting an easier version of Errol, he could be making a costly mistake.
And this is what I don't understand why people take it so hurtful. When we in like England and places like that, overseas, like they tell you, and it's okay, like, hey, you're a great fighter, but I think he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it's all cool. It's just a opinion that they have on one fight. It's cool.
Tszyu is tough, aggressive, and full of confidence. But Spence brings elite experience, relentless pressure, punishing body work, and proven championship toughness. When a fighter like Crawford tells you to stay alert, people pay attention because Bud has already shared the ring with Spence, broken him down, and knows exactly how dangerous he can be at his best. Then we see Errol Spence back in the gym, and it completely changes the feeling around this fight. He is not training like a fighter who is simply returning to compete. He looks determined to remind everyone who he was before the loss to Crawford. The pressure, body, punching, conditioning, and relentless forward movement that defined his career are all on display again. Seeing Spence back at work adds a new layer of pressure for Tszyu, who now has to prepare for a motivated former champion eager to prove he still belongs among boxing's elite. Because this is the version of Spence that Tszyu has to prepare for. Not the fighter many wrote off after one rough night, but the former champion who can still wear opponents down once he finds his rhythm. If Spence steps in focused, hungry, and in top condition, then Tszyu is not walking into a simple comeback story. He is stepping into a genuine fight. Boxing Ego reacted to Errol Spence's comeback by calling it a true test of what the former champion still has left. He believes Spence still carries the experience, reputation, and skill to be a dangerous opponent if he returns healthy and fully focused. The real question is not what Spence accomplished in the past, but whether his timing, body, and hunger are still at that level today. That is what makes a fight with Tszyu so compelling. Tszyu is younger, active, strong, and full of confidence. He will not be intimidated by Spence's name alone.
My knowledge, I heard Errol Spence doesn't drink anymore, which is also a plus. He settled that down, and looks like the weight melted off him. He looks very lean, very focused, as he should be, because really it's a crossroads fight for him and Tszyu. Tszyu has taken some losses, been stopped by Fundora, by Murtazaev. So this is kind of must-win territory for both fighters.
Then we see Errol Spence training alongside Ronnie Shields, making his comeback feel even more serious. This is not just Spence hitting the pads for the cameras. Working with Ronnie Shields shows he is rebuilding with discipline, structure, and one of boxing's most respected trainers in his corner. Ronnie has guided elite fighters for years, so the focus goes beyond power or flashy highlights. It is about sharpening Spence's timing, balance, defense, conditioning, and restoring the habits that made him one of boxing's most dangerous champions.
And you look, he got a little bit of sweat, a little bit of sheen to him. Working with Ronnie Shields, legendary trainer. His back looking brolic. Got some snap to the punches. Yeah, we working. I love it. I love what I'm seeing. Look, in shape. This look like old school Errol, I'm telling you. It look, I mean, obviously he's older, right? He's no longer in his 20s, but I mean, look at it. Look at his back. So he not playing.
Even Andre Ward continues to show Errol Spence a great deal of respect, which is why his comeback should not be written off so easily. Ward knows exactly what Spence brought to the sport before the Crawford defeat. His relentless pressure, discipline, body punching, physical strength, and ability to wear opponents down made him one of boxing's most respected champions. So when a fighter like Andre Ward speaks highly of Spence, it is not based on reputation alone.
Errol Spence is a boxing brother to me. He's somebody that I have a lot of respect for, his fight game, how he approached the fights, and just how he's carried himself. And again, he's made mistakes and he's open about that. But, you know, we've been talking for 3 years, off and on, checking on him, you know, he reaching out to me the whole nine. And so there's a comfortability there, and there's also a respect level there. So when we sit down a lot of times on the Art of War, man, went back home and got into his family and became a better family man and spent more time with his kids, allowed his body to heal, his mind to heal, and he started making some tough decisions about, do I want to come back or not come back? You don't wait 3 years to start making excuses, right? And I'm seeing these YouTubers now, right? And I don't know what to call y'all. I don't know what to call y'all. Y'all not media. To me, y'all are, and not all of y'all, because there's some guys that are YouTubers that are building a platform, Roy, and they trying to just, you know, get some motion and just build what they do, and they doing a great job. And I don't have no names off the top of my head, but I've seen guys and I'm like, man.
Then we see Tszyu training with Jeff Fenech and his team ahead of the Errol Spence fight, making the matchup feel even more important. This is not just another training camp. Working alongside someone like Fenech brings a different level of intensity because he understands pressure, toughness, and what it takes to prepare for championship fights. That matters against Spence, who is not the kind of opponent you beat by looking good for only a few rounds. You have to be ready for relentless body shots, constant pressure, and a pace that can wear you down over time. By training with Fenech and his team, Tszyu is showing that he is preparing for the best version of Spence, not the one many people dismissed after the Crawford loss, but the former champion who still has pride, experience, and plenty to prove. That is what makes this camp so important. Tszyu knows that beating Spence would be more than just another victory. It would be a statement that he is ready to take over the division. Jeff Fenech spoke about preparing Tszyu for the Errol Spence fight, and his message was anything but gentle. He made it clear that Tim has to improve in several areas if he wants to beat Spence. That tells you Fenech is not in camp to offer empty praise or repeat the usual trainer cliches. He is focused on the finer details. Tim's defense, footwork, discipline, timing, and ability to handle pressure all need to be sharper because Spence is not the type of opponent who lets bad habits slide. That is what makes Fennec's role so valuable. He knows Tim already has toughness, power, and confidence, but against Errol, those qualities alone are not enough. Spence can attack the body, cut off the ring, and gradually pull opponents into the kind of fight he wants. Fennec's message is clear. Tszyu has to fix those weaknesses now before they become costly on fight night.
There's a lot that needs to change, but you can't change a lot in a couple of months. So I'm just trying to change a few of the little important things I think that need to be changed. It's going to make him better on the day and give him less opportunity to.
Jeff knows many people are judging Spence because of the Crawford loss, but he believes that is dangerous. Errol still has championship experience, strong fundamentals, body punching, pressure, and the toughness that made him one of boxing's best for years. Fennec's message is simple. If Tim goes in believing Spence is finished or easy, that is when mistakes happen.
I didn't get touched. And it ended nice and early.
Errol Spence called you disrespectful on a podcast this week. Do you have any response to those comments?
Nah, that's alright. He talks it up and whatever. It is what it is. I'm not getting into that talk shit type of smack anymore. You know, it's I'm just here to cause pain.
Shakur Stevens said this week that he hopes Spence beats you up. What do you make of those comments as well?
It's another one, another hater. What can you say? I actually like Shakur Stevenson, but I do rate Tank Davis better. So.
Shane Mosley shared his thoughts on Tim, Tszyu, and Errol Spence, and he sees the matchup as a true test for both fighters. He knows exactly what Spence is capable of when he is at his best. Errol is strong, physical, and dangerous once he finds his rhythm. He applies relentless pressure, attacks the body, and forces opponents to work every second of every round. That is why Mosley is not treating Spence like someone Tim can simply walk through because of the Crawford defeat.
When you fought Terence Crawford, you was falling down, you couldn't even take the shots after the car thing, you know what I'm saying? How well, like, are you damaging your body? I don't know, we will see when he fights. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I mean, people are excited for it, but in the same time, a lot of people say that Errol Spence is in a different league than a Tim Tszyu. But Tim Tszyu, I mean,
Tim Tszyu can fight. Tim Tszyu's in a good league too. He ain't in a bad league. Tim Tszyu can fight.
There you go.
But I think that what they're trying to do is if they can beat Tim Tszyu, they're gonna go after what's the tall kid's name again?
But he also knows why Tszyu is dangerous. Tim is younger, active, confident, and comes forward believing in his power. He never fights with fear, and that can make life difficult for a fighter returning from a major defeat. So Mosley's message is simple. If Spence is healthy and sharp, this is a very tough fight for Tim. But if Errol is no longer the same fighter, Tszyu has the pressure and hunger to expose it early.
Is in Australia, we got the return of Errol Spence going to be fighting Tim Tszyu. I mean, what do you think about that? You know, his comeback.
Man, is he all the way ready? I mean,
he's looking good, strong. He's working with Rodney Shields right now.
Okay, but is he really? He's strong, hit the bag and stuff. But what about receiving?
The receipts, yeah, I don't know.
What about the receipts? How's his body gonna take the receipts? And we see how good he look getting hit. I mean, hitting. What about getting hit back?
Yeah, this ain't a bodybuilder show.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Some people really believe in Spence in this fight. I mean, actually, Robert Garcia is kind of insinuating similar things that you're saying. You know, is he really the Errol?
Meanwhile, Mikey Garcia shared his thoughts on Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence, and his opinion carries real weight because he has already been in the ring with Spence. He knows firsthand how difficult Errol can be when he is fully locked in. Mikey has experienced the pressure, body, punching, strength, and relentless pace that force opponents to fight every second. That is why he does not see this as Tim facing an easy version of Spence simply because of the Crawford loss. But Mikey also knows timing is everything. Spence returns with questions surrounding him, while Tszyu is active, hungry, and determined to prove himself against the sport's biggest names. That makes this a dangerous fight for both men. His message is simple. If Spence is still physically sharp, his experience and pressure can create serious problems for Tim. But if he has declined, Tszyu has the youth, power, and confidence to make Spence's comeback a very difficult one.
Spence has been fighting what, like 2 years?
Since the Crawford fight, yeah.
3 years, maybe 2 years. That's a good fight for him to come back because Tszyu is also not at his prime anymore. He's been hurt, he's been knocked out. So that's actually a pretty good matchup for a return. It's also a good matchup for Tim. If he beats Errol Spence,
Big name,
he gets another shot at something bigger. So that's a good matchup for both actually. But he's going to Australia, so that's a little iffy there.
No, plus when you travel that far, it takes a long time to adjust to the weather, the food, the time. Yeah.
Matchup-wise,
Bernie the boxer knows Errol Spence is still a respected former champion with elite experience, pressure, and body punching. Even after the Crawford loss, you cannot pretend Spence forgot how to fight. If he returns healthy, focused, and working with Ronnie Shields, he can still make life difficult for anyone. But Bernie also understands why Tim Tszyu is such a dangerous opponent right now. Tim is active, hungry, and training with the mindset that beating Spence could change his career. With Jeff Fenech demanding improvements in camp, it is clear Tszyu is not overlooking Errol. Bernie's message is simple. If Spence still has his old timing and strength, Tim is in for a long night.
A good fight. It ain't a tune-up, but it's, you know what I'm saying? It's a good little fight for him. Man been out 3 years. Tszyu been active. Former world champion. He ain't going to get nobody we don't know. I can't take nothing. I can't do nothing but salute him, take my hat off for him, and see how he going to work. I think he going to be fine. He looked like he's in good shape. He ain't look all out of shape. He looked like, he looked good. He looked mentally all there. And I mean, shit, them little 3 years, like I said, I told him as soon as it happened, I said, okay, he had other stuff going on, other stuff going on. That was a 5-year accumulation, a lot of stuff he did going through the rigmaroles with Bud, trying to figure out if they was gonna fight and building up his reputation and all.
That is what makes Errol Spence's comeback so intriguing. He is not returning against an easy opponent just to rebuild confidence. He is stepping in with Tim Tszyu, a strong, active, and confident fighter who will test him from the opening bell. Tszyu will not be intimidated by Spence's reputation. He plans to push the pace, force exchanges, and find out if the Crawford loss changed him. But Bernie the boxer's message is that fans should not be so quick to write Spence off. If Errol is healthy, focused, and settled with Ronnie Shields, he may still have plenty left to offer. The body work, pressure, strength, discipline, and experience that made him great do not disappear after one defeat. A loss to a special fighter like Terence Crawford does not erase years of elite performances. That is why this fight is so important. Spence is not only fighting Tim Tszyu, he is fighting to prove his best days are not behind him. Every round will answer another question. Can he still handle pressure? Can he still keep a relentless pace? Can he still break opponents down to the body? Can he still look like the Errol Spence the boxing world once feared?
There's like a viral clip of him, Tszyu trying to shake his hand, and he's like, nah, I'm not shaking your hand. I've been hearing you talking shit, talking about you're going to retire me and all that. Did you see the clip?
No, I didn't see that. When they was in the hallway?
Yeah.
Don't pull it up, man. It's good. They was in the hallway?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what Tszyu supposed to say. So I don't understand why everybody getting upset by stuff they supposed to say. That's what you're supposed to say. You're my, but it's still, we still, you my peer. You still a fellow fighter. So
I wouldn't take none of that stuff so seriously like that. You know, who give a fuck? He said he gonna retire me. Okay, we gonna see when I beat his ass. Who cares? He said he gonna, all right, I'm gonna end him. He already been almost in it. I'm gonna put him out for real. That's Errol Spence, you know. Right back. Okay, he said I'm gonna talk. Let's see. And you know, he thought Becker would beat his ass. Wait till I beat his ass. You know, you just hit him back. You know, all that. You know, but whatever it is, you know, I don't really get into none of that stuff. I don't even care. Like, I think they too sensitive, for real.
What do you think about the fight being at a catch weight of 158?
Oh, it ain't gonna be at 54. Oh, like I say, it's just the kid just coming to get his feet wet. You know, he going back into the ring. That's it. So it don't matter. He really was a middleweight anyway. You know, so 58, that's middleweight. It's not junior middleweight. You know, the limit is 54. So it's a good fight. Tszyu, I'm sure he had to lose a lot of weight to make weight too. So good little fight. Can't wait to see the fight. You know, Errol Spence carrying the torch. You know, everybody want to see what he gonna do. Most anticipation in a long time. So I just want to see the fight. So, you know, I'm wishing him the best. You know, it don't really move me whether he do good or.
Be sure to check out the other videos on your screen for more of the latest boxing news, breakdowns, and exclusive updates.